Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to the long-range weather forecast discussion for February 2nd to the 6th. Going to jump around a little bit, but first of all, there's been talk about a possible stratospheric warming event occurring around the 7th and February 7th. And we have other influences that that can impact the weather during that time. We have a weak the MJO and a stronger ridge off the southeast coast, and the weakening polar vortex, which is forecast to occur. And the question is, it'll be a brief transition from the dominant positive PNA pattern to a brief blocking pattern at the start of the next period, around February 7th. And this will keep any storm that moves across the eastern U.S. to move rapidly out into the western Atlantic. So in that case, we're going to go with the forecast, and this is for February 2nd to the 6th. And we have a ridge over the eastern Pacific, trough with below normal heights over the high latitudes and Greenland in the west central states, with the ridge forecast in the east. And I'll show you that as I go through the period. You see our ridge. Some miles a little bit more, but a little more pronounced or amplified than the other period, than the other maps. Okay, we're going to look at the impending system effect expected to come to the East Coast. Okay, we're going to go back up a little bit, and this is Friday. This is the beginning of the storm system, and we go to Friday 7 p.m. This is the European ensembles. We have our low down here. Now we'll look at the GFS at the same time. It's a little further to the northeast, and this system's forecast to move to off the Carolina coast in the morning, and notice where the 540 line is. This would be snow, this is rain, but all in all, I think the pattern is further offshore. And you see we go to 7 p.m. on Saturday, it's pretty much gone. So the northeast mid-Atlantic, pretty much a bust for this snow, but we have more coming in the following days after this. If this pattern, which I talked about with the weakened polar vortex, we're expected to have colder air that'll sink into the U.S. It'll start into the Rockies first and spread eastward. Okay, it all depending how it will be. We still have a lot of winter to go, so it's not over. And the feeling is that we might be dealing with storms going into March, if not through March. Okay, so we're going to go to Sunday, and we have this deepening low that will be moving out. You don't even see it on the map anymore, of the Canadian Maritimes, and we have a subtropical dret over the eastern Pacific that will push across Mexico with a frontal system, moisture in the western Gulf on Friday. That'll cause this low to develop here, and it'll move north. Now we're going to look at the other models. Like I said, this is the, all right, we'll go to Saturday. Let me go forward. Okay, Saturday, 7 a.m. This is GFS. The NAM brings precipitation further northward. This will be snow. This might be mixed precipitation just below the 540 line. This is Canadian. It is also further offshore. Now this is the Canadian. Wait, what do we just look at? This is the Nav Jim further offshore, and then we have the Canadian a little further to the south, just barely touching New Jersey. And then we look at the European ensembles all at the same time, 7 a.m. It's out. But still, there might be some rain along the mid-Atlantic or the Virginia and Carolina coast. Now, also, the Pacific Northwest, we will have a Pacific flow that will continue into the Northwest and keep the region in valley rains and mountain snow across western Oregon and Washington on Sunday. And then we'll have a next Pacific system moving inland. Let me go to that. Early next week, you see it right here. And that'll bring another round of rain and mountain snows. Okay, we're going to look at the period for February 7th to the 11th. Now, this is where I think the change is supposed to occur. But right now, see, we have, this is the trough building in, but we still have our ridge here over the Eastern Pacific. This ridge has to be further to the north to allow cold air to come into the U.S. But all in all, the models are having a ridge here, trough in the west central states, ridge here, more settled down here across Caribbean with above normal heights in the east. So overall, this is what I'm forecasting. For this period, I'm calling for below normal temperatures here and anomalies 4 to 6 degrees below normal forecast. Above normal temperatures here with anomalies of 2 to 4 degrees above normal for precipitation. Calling for below normal precipitation for this region here, and the probability of occurrence is 35 to 45%. And then we have above normal precipitation from the Mississippi Valley to the Atlantic coast. Probability of occurrence is 35%. Still during this period, if you want to go forward for February 12th to the 16th, still forecasting ridge, trough, ridge configuration. So the pattern doesn't change unless what happens, we have the MJO and the weakening polar vortex comes into effect. I had to look at that more tomorrow or over the weekend. So for this forecast period, I am forecasting below normal temperatures from the plains to the Pacific coast, and I'm forecasting anomalies of 2 to 8 degrees below normal. And then we have above normal temperatures east of the Mississippi River, and I'm forecasting numbers of 2 to 6 degrees above normal. And for precipitation, we have below normal precipitation for the West Coast states, probability of occurrence 35%. Then we have above normal precipitation from the Rockies to the Atlantic coast, probability of occurrence is 35 to 40%. That's the long range weather forecast discussion for February 2nd to the 16th. Thanks for coming to Jim Only's World of Weather, and have a good day.